when I was taking my films about village action around in the United States, quite a number of times people told me, you know, your stuff is really different than what we usually get from fundraisers. That all your people look happy, you know, and you're sort of, I guess you're sort of showing the results of your work instead of the reasons why we should donate. And it's true. I think that that the way we in Auroville work is with joy, you know, and that we actually enjoy what we're doing, and we share that joy with the people that we are so-called helping or so-called uplifting. And certainly it's been the case with the tsunami. Now, when Mother Nature rattled her tectonic plates and she set that big wave to so many shores of so many different countries and killed so many different people, you know, so many masses of people, it was there was that wave. And then there was another wave. There was a wave of this cyber connectivity where everybody in the world could see it. I mean, even in our villages, the people were watching it on television, on the inland villages. And there was a very spontaneous and wonderful wave of compassion that flowed out from everyone who saw that. And it's come in terms of relief and donations and good wishes from people toward all the victims and the sufferers. And that's wonderful. I think it's a sign of two important things. One, that the world really is one. There isn't anybody who's been watching the news who doesn't know now that an earthquake somewhere can have wide-ranging effects on so many different places. So it's one world, we're not, and maybe it's cracking. And then this opportunity to feel love for other human beings. In the midst of our relief work here, we've felt that so strongly. There's love for the victims, but there's also an enormous team spirit. I think people like to help each other, actually. I think it gave us an opportunity. In Auroville, I know it did. Many of us are working together and working in much, you know, a lot of us older folks who've sort of gotten behind our desks, but now we're really out there, like, helping. And it feels very good. We help the people, but we help each other. Our teamwork is wonderful. We never shout at each other or argue. And it's as if there's another wave of love sort of coming over the planet. I've been praying for that for years. And I still do every morning. But it's wonderful. And it's not, how can I say, I hope that in this process that people will realize that the victims are sort of, they've done it for drawing the attention of the world to the plight of the poor, the people that live on the borders. Like these people were living on a border, too close to the sea, because there wasn't room for them in their shanties in the nicer parts of town. And there's a need for us to extend that heart of compassion, not just to the victims, but to all the people who are in that condition. And that heart of compassion should not be stupid charity, I don't mean that, but definitely a deep concern that this brother, this fellow member of the human race, that this other part of our global self is I can be in useful relationship with such a person and with those people, that by offering to help, I can, or we can, improve the lot of not just the poor, but we're improving the lot of the whole world, because the whole of humanity needs to rise, needs to come into a clearer relationship with each other and a relationship with our destiny as human beings, to manifest on the earth something wonderful. And I think that the tsunami has made that very, at least much more easily understandable, more accessible. And I'm looking forward to, we've had it happen in Auroville. Many people who were not so interested in village development before have stepped in and are committing themselves for the long term to do training programs, to invest. Architects are working out low-cost designs that not only are low cost, but are also using renewable energy, using appropriate technologies, restoring the coastal ecology. So there's this opportunity which the tsunami presents to us all to do in our area, and everywhere, a step towards a new world.
Will there be an emphasis on vocational training for the villagers too?
Yes, because for one thing, many of the fishermen, at least for about 3 months, they'll have trouble to get back to fishing because their boats were crashed and their nets are messed, and although there is a government intention to help, those things usually are delayed. So they'll need some kind of training and temporary employment. Furthermore, some of them would like to, and their daughters, and some of their sons would like to learn other things, to get an education. The fishermen are generally known as being very rough, having very little education and being very tough, and very tough and using bad language and having and that changes when the sons and the daughters get educated. So there's a call from the fishermen for training, and Auroville has lots of places to train. We can train in metalwork, we can train in woodwork, we can train in computer, we have schools actually that are set up for that. Training in secretarial, in business, in electrical. So our idea is to set up a program which would use all those different facilities in one central program, which would have much more than just the training. There would be the skill training, there'd be the theoretical training, but also there would be sports, compulsory. They have to come to sports if they're going to get this training, and lots of special lectures and classes on environment, on the role you play in making your community a beautiful place, this sort of thing. So I think that very likely the tsunami will in the long run, will say, oh, the tsunami really brought a change, and a change for the better. That we have offered ourselves more to the real needs of the villagers for education, for training. And then they're able to support themselves. They live their own lives, but at a higher standard of living than was formerly considered normal.
Thank you.
You're very
Sounds
welcome.
very promising.